Welcome to Faces and Aces Las Vegas. My name is Chris. Joining me in the studio is once again the lovely wife, Jenny.
Is that my cue?
What do you want, a written invitation? How you doing?
Hello.
So, Jenny's not necessarily filling in for Katie and Aaron because I recorded something with Aaron about a week and a half ago, and I was supposed to release in this episode a week ago. And by this time, the stuff that we talked about, it's just too stale. We talked about the lottery. We talked about David Bowie. So I decided we're going to record something fresh. Aaron's not around. My wife is around. So
Being that the studio is our own home.
I didn't have to call her and ask her. Well, then again, Aaron just lives downstairs. It's not like he has to travel too far either.
True.
But I saw that his car wasn't there. So I know he's not home. So Jenny and I were having a little bit of fun the last couple of days touring around Los Angeles, being a tourist in our own home city. And that was kind of fun.
It was. We took advantage of exploring downtown.
Well, first we went to Hollywood because you needed to go to a store over in Hollywood. And we just took a little bit of time to walk around because it's kind of like locals in Vegas. They say, you know, you're a local in Vegas when you don't go to the Strip. You know, you're a local in LA when you avoid Hollywood and Vine, when you avoid all the big, tourist traps. But we thought, hey, let's take a day and do that stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, one of my favorite stores is located in the heart of Hollywood. I'm not exactly clear why they decided to open there, but it's
tourist trap.
The one reason that drags me over there.
Yeah, it's a tourist trap. That's why. Because so many tourists travel through. That's why they wanted to open a store there. I don't know why a Hollywood souvenir shop is your favorite store, but... So one of the funny things that happened there, and this actually happened to me twice while walking up and down Hollywood Boulevard, there are a whole bunch of people dressed up like superheroes trying to get tourists to stop and take a picture with them, and then hopefully you'll give them a few bucks as a thank you. They have the same thing in Vegas downtown. People get dressed up like Wolverine, Spider-Man, Batman, and they expect you to pay them to take a picture with you. There were a couple of Chinese tour groups walking around Hollywood Boulevard when we were there. This is no joke. This really happened twice. Spider-Man and another superhero. I can't remember who it was, but they both thought I was part of the Chinese tour group.
But peculiarly enough, I didn't get stopped. You were like held back behind me.
Because you look sophisticated. You look good. I look like
wearing tennis shoes and jeans just like the rest of them.
No, I was wearing tennis shoes and jeans and a hat and my glasses, and I just like fit. I'm not blended in with them, and they thought I was part of that group. And the Spider-Man came up to me and started talking to me. And I was just gonna kind of let him go, and I was tempted to mess with him a little bit, and until he finally asked me a question, and I said something like, "No, I'm from around here, man. It's all good." Like, I think he was expecting me to say something like, "Oh, country beautiful, Los Angeles big."
Oh my gosh. No.
No, that's how he was talking to me, like all loud and slow, and I just looked back at him and I was like, "No, I'm cool, man. No, I don't need a picture." He's like, and he looked at me and he's like, "Oh, you're from here, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am."
Well, from here, does he mean America or does he mean Los Angeles?
I think he meant LA.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, my wife and I are just out here shopping today. It's all good. Go, you can focus on them. You don't need to pay attention to me. But he kept talking to me. He had a paunch on him too. He was like wearing tight Spider-Man outfit. He had like a belly on him. It was great.
So I think the other funny part of that trip yesterday to Hollywood was, people are looking at the stars on the ground, and every once in a while you hear them get really excited about a particular star. And this little kid who must have been, how old do you think he was?
6.
Okay, 6 years old. I have not heard anyone so excited about this person.
Wait, let's back it up. Let's back it up just a second and explain to people that if you're not familiar, I know everyone knows what the Hollywood Walk of Fame is, but just in case you don't know what the Hollywood Walk of Fame is, it's a sidewalk on Hollywood Boulevard where they have celebrities' names printed on stars. And so it's a very big tourist attraction that people like to come and see in Hollywood.
And so the 6-year-old boy was walking across the star and he yelled out loud in excitement, "Eric Estrada!" Which I have not heard that name in many, many years as being someone that someone looks forward to walking across his star.
You and I kind of found that funny for a couple different reasons.
Yeah.
Because first of all, earlier that day, I had to go see the David Bowie star. This is a legend. I need to go see this man's star on the Walk of Fame. So we took a moment. Someone had actually put a candle on Bowie's star. People were still posing on Bowie's star. So we did that. Then we're walking down Hollywood Boulevard and the little kid screams out, Eric Estrada!
I'm not only confused because I haven't heard that name in so many years, but I'm trying to figure out how a 6-year-old kid even knows Eric Estrada.
I guess his parents were just huge fan of chips. I don't know what else they would know him from, and how that 6-year-old would know him.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think, honestly, all joking aside, I think he's a big soap opera star in Mexico.
Today,
right? So maybe
Wow.
maybe that's how he knows who Eric Estrada is.
well, I will walk over that star with a little more reverence now.
Something else that we did as a tourist in LA, we went to downtown LA to check a couple things out. We went to a place called Egg Slut. We went there actually a couple weeks before because we had heard that this restaurant was going to be opening up in Las Vegas soon, and the first one is here in LA. So we decided, hey, let's check it out. Let's see what this big buzz is about, this place called Egg Slut. And it's a breakfast place that apparently is so good. I heard a story of somebody who stood in line for food. I heard this on the 360 Vegas podcast. They described someone who stood in line for an Egg Slut sandwich, waited in line 45 minutes, got one, ate it, was so good, person got back in line for another 45 minutes for another one. So I had to see what this was about.
You weren't going to make that mistake. So you went ahead and ordered your 2 sandwiches right off the bat because you didn't want to make the mistake of having to get back in line.
Well, yeah, I just figured I could take one home if I was, if it was too big for me to eat, I could take one home. But no, I ate both of them.
Oh my gosh, you did. But you have to tell the funniest part of the story.
So you tell it.
Okay. Well, so on the menu, everything's, I can't even remember what the name of your sandwiches were, but there's a menu item called simply Slut. So there were the 4 girls in line behind us, and they proceeded to order the Slut for all 4 of them. So when their order was ready, what they do is they shout out your order, and they shout it out to the whole group of people in Grand Central Market, 4 sluts! And the girls came running up right away to collect their food.
Mind you, these are like cute little Asian girls. Like they look to be like young 20s, the kind of Asian girl that cover their mouth when they laugh, like the hee hee hee, and they cover their mouth. So the guy's like 4 sluts, and they come running up, hee 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 hee. It was awesome. So for the record, at Egg Slut, I had a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. And also I had a sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich because, I didn't want to have to get back in line. The guy ate 2 of them. If he could eat 2, I could eat 2.
I know. I had the Slut.
And you had a Slut.
And I'm looking at the menu. It's just called Slut.
Yes. I'm looking at it too. You had a Slut. Good for you.
I would have much rather had what's a male hoe?
A slut. So they're going to be opening up in the Cosmopolitan sometime in 2016. So I recommend it. If you're in Vegas, go give Egg Slut a try for breakfast. Good food, really tasty stuff. Okay, so for the rest of the show, what we have going on today, we have an interview, since the Super Bowl is right around the corner, we have an interview with Michael Tomes, who is from UmbrellaVIP.com and from VegasPoolSeason.com. He's going to talk a little bit about what it's like to experience Super Bowl in Vegas. I had some questions for him, wanted to know where are some good venues to go check out the Super Bowl? Is one better than the other? Like, is the best place to watch the Super Bowl at a day pool or at a sports bar or at the sports book or a strip club? If you're heading there this weekend, hopefully we'll be able to provide you with some tips. But before we get to Michael, we're going to, which by the way, with Michael, he made it a point to say his name, like he said, my name is Michael Tomes. So I was like, oh, okay, Tomes, as in gnomes. To which he responded, or Holmes.
Yeah, I'm the worst. When people do airline agents, they have to spell back your confirmation number and they have to give you a name for each letter to make sure you understood what letter they're speaking about.
Oh, yeah?
I come up with the most bizarre references. I just do. I don't know. I'm just in that moment. And the first word that always pops in my mind is just not logical.
You're like, my name is Jenny, spelled J as in Jamiroquai, E as in Ethiopia.
No, but sometimes I'll pick a word where it doesn't clarify it.
Like J as in J, like on Modern Family, J. E as in E, like ecstasy.
Like the sound a little girl makes. Eee!
Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with me, though. My head going to gnomes. I was just weird. Like, this is like cool Vegas guy. He's not talking to me, super nerd. It's like, really? Gnomes? Anyway, so before we get into that, we're going to do something that we've been meaning to get around to for a very long time. So since the beginning, we always intended for the show to be something of a storytelling podcast. We say in the opening part of the show, welcome to Faces and Aces Las Vegas, a podcast where we share great Vegas stories and discuss tips and tricks on how to make your Vegas trip a better experience, blah, blah, blah. But we never really paid off on the telling great Vegas stories part of the show. I think today is the day we finally pay that off because we have on Afterburn 739. We reached out to them. We asked them, do you guys have any really funny Vegas stories to share with us? And of course they did. And who is Afterburn 739? I met those guys through Modern Family. And what that is that's a group of podcasters who help promote each other. And it's also a great way to find some really cool podcasts. So if you're looking for a new podcast to listen to, search out the hashtag Modern Family on Twitter and you will see a huge variety, ginormous variety of podcasts to listen to. Okay, so with all this rambling that I'm doing, ultimately what I'm getting at is if you have a great Vegas story, and I'm talking to you, the listening audience, if you have a great Vegas story that you would like to share on the show, you can give us a call over at 702-381-3657, or you can email us at contact@facesandaceslv.com, or you can find us over on Twitter at facesandaceslv. You can find us over at Instagram and Facebook, but honestly, I'm not really there that much. Reach out to us. Let us know you got a story to share. We'll get in touch with you and come on the show, share your awesome Vegas story. Because the Faces of Las Vegas, it's not just the people who live there, it's also us who visit the city.
I wanted to call your phone and have it ring and be like, hi, I have a story.
Did you just do that?
I realize your phone won't ring and you'll be like, what are you doing?
So we're looking to you, and this is your opportunity. If you've ever wanted to share your Vegas stories, please give us a call, send us an email, hit us up on Twitter, let us know, and we'll get you on the show. Okay, so next weekend being Super Bowl weekend, it's not only a time for awesome football, but it's also a time for awesome football commercials. You want to get into that a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, so we were talking a little bit before, and you had a beef with Super Bowl commercials. What was that about?
Oh, I don't think I'll go off my soapbox.
Are there any ads that you're looking forward to that you've seen?
I haven't seen any.
Or that you've heard about or anything?
I haven't heard a thing.
There's just one ad that I'm looking forward to, and that's... I can't even remember the product, which may be the problem with Super Bowl ads. I remember the ads, but I don't remember what the product is.
Exactly.
But it's about a guy looking for his socks, and the wife says, hey, why don't you go check out the walk-in closet? So the guy goes into the walk-in closet, and sitting in the middle of the room is Christopher Walken holding his socks.
Well, that's the other problem. And I bet you I can predict which agency did that commercial because they have built themselves a reputation of Super Bowl ads with celebrities.
Oh, okay. Okay. But going outside of that, what celebrity would you want to sit in your closet and hand you clothes? You just kind of went, huh? Like, I would love it if I could walk into a closet and have Christopher Walken hand me my jacket. So what celebrity would you want to be your...
I don't know if it's a celebrity. I think in the fashion world, there's a couple like up-and-comers right now that, yeah, if they're going to be like my personal stylist, oh my God, I would love like a Olivia Palermo or an Amy Song.
I don't know
to
who
be
those
sitting in
people
my
are.
closet. But at the same time, they only dress people who are probably 20 years, they're the Rachel Zoe,
Okay.
back in her heyday. These are the new up and comers, but I'm also not 20 something years old. So they're probably going to just dress me in Chicos at this point.
So you're saying, so the reality is Paula Deen would be sitting in your closet handing you clothes.
Maybe, It's not Paula Deen. It's more like, when
That's
I think Chico's, I think of like a Blythe Danner.
No, Blythe Danner's too good for Chico's. You're talking Paula Deen. You're talking.
No, it's that whole resort wear. It's that loungy, long, flowy resort wear look.
No, I kind of think stubby, large women, large older women.
No.
Stubby, large older women with really big, chunky necklaces.
No, that's not Chico's at all.
Well,
You clearly don't understand the Chico's woman.
excuse me for not knowing the Chico's woman. By the way, how do we go from Super Bowl to Chico's?
I don't know, but I think you should cut all that out.
No, I may have to.
I don't want to offend anybody.
Okay, so let's go ahead and move on into our story time. We need a name for this segment. What do you think it should be? Vegas story time? Vegas fun time? Sin City stories? No.
Oh my God. The looks.
All right. We'll come up with a name for this segment, but for our inaugural Vegas story time, we're going to have Kitty and Leo from Afterburn 739. And this is an excerpt from a discussion that we had about a week ago, and we sat there and talked for about an hour, and they told 3 fantastic stories about them in Vegas. This is one of those stories. So where it comes in, you can tell that there was a whole bunch of conversation that happened beforehand. So please excuse that, but this is the perfect one to start Vegas story time with. Please enjoy Kitty and Leo from the Afterburn 739 podcast.
We had one. We went. You know how you go to sporting events and then you sign up for a free trip or whatever it is, and they
No, you go tour place. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. That in addition to, it's the same thing as like if you get called to go tour place and that you get a free trip.
Right.
For touring
That's
it.
exactly what it was. And well, they're giving away a prize, but they're just trying to get your phone number. So they called, and they called one night, and I'm notorious for. If you call me, you better be ready to talk, because I will make you rethink your life choices if you're a salesman over the phone.
We have stories for another day. Try sitting next to him when he's answering somebody's phone call.
I once got an Amway guy to stop selling Amway. So I get the call that you've been selected to win a free trip. And I'm like, all right, fine. What do I got to do? Well, you got to come out to Independence, which is about 35, 40 minutes from us, and hear about this vacation package. And you'll either get a free trip to Florida, a free trip to, it was Orlando or Vegas is what it was. Airfare included. And I'm like, this is too good to not go down this path. So we get a babysitter, and we leave. I've got like a Hawaiian shirt. I've got a tie-dye T-shirt on, and we go, and we get there early, so we went to happy hour across the street. So we're two or 3 margaritas in when we show up to this thing.
Yes.
So they put us in this room with all these older people, and the gentleman at the front is dressed to the nines, like his Sunday go to meeting shoes on, and he starts out with, okay, so, and he's got his sales speech, and he's, okay, so when you go on vacation, what do you spend all your money on? And I raise my hand, and he calls on me. I go, hookers? There was 38 seconds of silence after that. Dude, I guarantee you he never had a sales spiel like that ever in his life. So,
That was just the beginning.
so they give the first 30 minutes, and I was quite ruly in there, but then they send you back to a table where they explain the financial benefits of this vacation. It was a vacation club is what it was. Mm-hmm. And so I let the guy give his spiel. And I go, all right, so let me make sure I understand this. Now, I'm an engineer by trade, and I'm into math. And in fact, the tattoo I got in Vegas is a pi symbol that's on my arm. So I'm good at math. So I says, can I see your pad of paper and your pen? And he goes, yeah, sure. And I start jotting down some numbers, and I go, so basically, I'm going to pay. Oh, that was what it was. They kept saying, where's your favorite vacation? And Kitty would go, camping in the woods with nobody around. which is exactly the opposite of what they're trying to sell. And so I totally wrote this up, and the salesman and I go, so what you're telling me is this is going to cost me this amount of money? And he goes, yeah, that's a lot of money. And I go, no, do I got to give you cash? And he goes, no, we finance it at 15%. I go, oh, give me that pad back. And I wrote it all
He
up.
didn't increase the number.
So he's like, you're not going to buy this, are you? And I'm like, no. And so we go in the next office where it's the final, where you're going to get your certificate for your trip.
Yeah.
And we're not going to buy anything. So they're going to offer it to us at like half price. And at this point, I'm like, why didn't you just have him offer to me at half price? And so needless to say, we got the certificate and we left. We didn't buy a trip. Yeah. And I asked the lady before we left, I go, so how many people buy into this? And she goes, you'd be really surprised how many people do this. And I was like, oh, man, that sucks. She goes, it is what it is. And so we got our certificate and we got home. And so I think this is how it went down. This is quite foggy now, but I had to call this number and give them our information. So I gave them the information, and I gave them my email address, and then they sent me an email with a PDF in it that I had to print out and had to fill out, and then I had to scan it in and fax it back to them. Once they got that fax, they would send me another email with a link.
He's not exaggerating. He had to do this.
With a link that I would have to open up and put my information in so that I could request a trip.
They're basically making it as tedious as possible. So
it was the most tedious thing in the world.
Now, this was just the beginning. They make it so tedious that we can probably guess that nobody probably ever goes through with it.
Well, when we finally got to the end, and it was almost a year later. We were determined. It was almost a year later, and we finally got to the end. And I'm convinced that when that person hung up the phone, like they celebrated. They were like, we got one through to the end. We were the mouse that made it through the maze.
Like in Ghostbusters, we got one.
So we wound up getting our flight, our hotel room, and some gambling.
Probably some vouchers.
Some vouchers and stuff like that. We had to pay the taxes. It was $36. So we had to give the credit card. So I give the credit card. It's $36. And now they don't give you the flight you want. They give you the flight that you get. So we wound up staying downtown.
Yeah, it was downtown
before it was renovated.
Oh, this is 20 years ago.
Right? Was this before it was renovated, or was it renovated?
No, this one was after renovated.
Oh, I think you're right. I think the first time we went with Brad and Rhonda, it wasn't.
Right. We got to see the before and after.
We got to see the before and after, yeah.
Okay, so this is kind of recently.
Yeah. So this is
a few years ago, or
yeah, it would have been 10 years ago, 10 years ago.
Wow, that long already.
So we had our flight. I think we left at like 6 a.m. So we get out there. I think it was 28 hours or something. And then we figured out that if we called the airline within 24 hours, we could extend our flights out within 24 hours for $50 a piece. So we wound up paying $50. So we spent 36 hours in Vegas without a car. We flew in, stayed in a free hotel room. We
had those frozen daiquiri dreams.
Those huge frozen.
We had coupons, and we stopped at every bar with every one of our coupons to get our free beer.
There was one you could buy, those Bud Light aluminum 16 ounces. You buy one, get one free. And we got every coupon we could get, and we would walk up and down the strip. And the restaurants were it was those Mexican restaurants. I don't know what they're called, but then they're just like bars, and you would stop and we'd cash it in. We'd get 2 for $1, and we'd walk to the next bar.
Didn't gamble.
Nope, we didn't. I don't think we gambled a cent that trip.
We didn't. We didn't touch it. We didn't touch anything.
We went to a prime rib dinner. And 3 of our 36 hours in Vegas, we spent in a meat coma. We went back to the room, and we have no idea what happened. Somebody could have, the maid could have come in and made her way with us for 3 hours. We would have no clue we were that.
Those are 3 hours I'll never get
back.
We'll
never get those 3 hours back. I remember walking back from the buffet to the hotel because it was
oh man,
100 steps.
I didn't think we could make it. It was like we were holding onto the wall just to get there.
You're all waking up with new tattoos.
Yes.
I remember getting that.
I think that was the trip I bought some of those rainbow leg warmers. I was famous for wearing the jorts like Kevin Smith does. And I think I found them on the strip. They were a pair of, it was so cold, and I found a pair of rainbow leg warmers. And I wore those walking up and down the strip in those rainbow leg warmers. Oh my God.
Like Richard
It was
Simmons.
a riot. I got pictures. I'm digging out those pictures and posting them.
Oh man.
So we don't do the traditional Vegas thing. We did one where we went with our kid. I was going out for business, and
traditional.
We stayed at the MGM and got to see Cirque du Soleil Ka. And,
well, here's the thing: we had our kid, and our kid was young then, so she was into swimming during the day and going to see pet shows and magic shows and all that stuff. And he was going to a conference, so we're like, well, we might as well go along, and I'll go along with Rayanne and hang out with her and
let the company pay for it.
Let the company pay for it, and spend some time together and just enjoy it. And so, my aunt and uncle who lived there got all kinds of like freebie coupons, like from some radio show that you guys have there, and you can get like really discounted. So we had like free monorail passes for the entire week. We had like buy one get one free into like the shows. So like my daughter and I would swim in the big old lazy river pool all day, and then like 2:00 we'd like
go to the matinee while I was
hop
working.
on the monorail, go to a matinee pet show or whatever, come back, meet up with him, go to dinner, and then we picked about 2 or 3 big shows in the evening.
Yeah. And Ka was our big one. We had so much fun at that. That was such a good time.
Awesome.
We dressed up and we had a good time.
Yeah.
My daughter was fascinated with the gambling and the slot machines, and she used to do the crane game, and she was very good at it. So the slot machines really piqued her interest. So we were in the lobby and we were getting ready to go somewhere, and I says, okay, I'm going to teach you a lesson. I says, give me $20 of your money. And she goes, okay. So she gives me $20. I says, I'm going to go over and put in that slot machine. I says, I'm going to come back in 2 minutes. I'm not going to have any money. And I went over and I hit like $325. And I came back and I gave her 20 plus another 20. And I says, let that be a lesson. Gambling never pays off.
We went at the oddest time.
So we came back and bought a dog with the money. We bought our dog Max with the money that we won. Her $20 that we won.
Oh, that's great.
It was like, son of a bitch.
We tried good parenting.
It just didn't work.
It just didn't work. Oh,
We tried nothing, and we're all out of ideas.
This last time we went after the Friday night Kevin show, we went over to. We love to go to Hooters and get wings and play video poker and meet people in the bar there. Yeah. And we're on a mission, and we're heading towards the bar to get some wings, and we get probably 100 steps into the casino, and I stop dead. And I look down at my foot and I pick something up. I says, "Kitty, come with me." And we went over to a slot machine. And it was a voucher. I stuck it in the machine. It was a $180 voucher somebody dropped.
That's how we gamble.
So I paid $3, cashed out, and I had $180 in my pocket. I was up before I spent $1 on a slot machine. Oh man. Yeah,
But that's how we roll, though.
It is. It is.
Him and I have a good time no matter what we do and no matter where we go. I mean, we just go to places and meet people and laugh and have a good time, and the oddest adventures happen, and you got to have humor about it. You got to go through life with humor
and be willing to talk to people. You can't just walk down the strip with your own people. You gotta ask people. I mean, we met you.
Meryl.
We met Big Daddy Jimmy V. We met Dave Lito, Meryl, Jimmy's wife, and just met so many great people that we never met. But right now, we could, if we're flying out to there tomorrow, we could say, "Hey, you want to go have a drink?" Yeah, sure, let's go.
And we go.
Hey, what do you want to do? You want to get together? And that's so cool, man. It was just a
Really?
great. You gotta open your mouth and you gotta talk to people next to you.
I met Sean Buss that morning.
Did you really?
Yeah, because I was driving out to Vegas, and leading up to going out, I pretty much slept maybe 3 hours a night because I was frantically trying to get stuff finished for Hitchbat so I could hand them off to the people out in Vegas. And he saw me. I met him that morning because he DM'd me or something and said, "My daughter is a huge fan. Is there any chance I can meet?" And I said, "I'm supposed to go out to Vegas this morning, but anyone who loves their daughter that much Absolutely. Let's meet up in Hollywood. So we hooked up, and he saw me. I was a wreck. I had bags under my eyes, and he said, "You're going out there? Yeah, you're going out there tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah, as soon as we're done here, I'm hitting the road." He goes over, steps over, talks to his wife, and comes back to me and says, "I'm going with you because you're not driving out there like that."
No, I think I remember that was you talked about that on the first show I listened to yours. I think was that you talked about the ride to Vegas, and he just like, I'll take you.
Yeah. Yeah, so he just kept me company the whole, like, there and back, and just kept me awake, alert. Dude is a prince. I love Sean Buss.
Awesome. That's amazing, man. That's cool.
Yeah, and that's like you were saying. You go out there, you meet people. Same thing with Big Daddy Jimmy V. Just all these awesome people that you can meet, and it's kind of tied to Vegas. Like I met them through Hitchbat, but we all met up in Vegas.
Right,
and that's part of the magic of the city. I mean, it's just you meet people there, you hang out, you have fun, you make new friends. I mean, that's why the city's great.
Right, and in today's day and age, where you can gamble, I can go across the street and gamble on my lunch break. Yeah. Why would I want to go all the way out to Vegas and do that when I can go out and I can chat with some really cool cats? And we went in because Kevin's show was at the Hard Rock. We went out to the parking lot, and there was a car show. And we just walked around the parking lot for an hour and a half, just stood there talking to people. I'm friends with the one guy on Facebook. I saw his car posted the other day. I remember that car. I got a picture of it on my phone, and just it's amazing. Amazing if you just open your mouth and talk to people.
Yeah. Same thing goes for podcasting too. I love it.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Same thing.
It is, and so many connections. I mean, we put our episode out yesterday, and we got people in Australia listening to it. We got people in England listening to it. We got people in Canada. We got people in Vegas. We got people in. It's just amazing. It's like, wait, we would never know these people. Never.
And the thing is about us, Leo, is that everybody that we meet, we think of as genuinely as friends.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, next time you're in Vegas, definitely give me a holler. And
we're going to the zombie thing, man.
Oh, heck yeah, we are.
I told Kitty I want to sign up for the 5-day thing where they.
All right. Oh, one step at a time here. Get your replacement first.
That sounded awesome.
So okay. So I've had you guys on the phone for like almost an hour now. So. I want to let you go because I know you guys are East Coast time. It's getting late. But let me, get out the other stuff. You want to just talk a little bit about your show? I know you did a little bit. Where can they find you if they want to give Afterburn 739 a listen?
The easiest thing for me is on Twitter, Afterburn 739. There's a link to our website there, which has links to iTunes, Stitcher, Instagram, our RSS feed. Whatever you need is up there. So just Twitter, Afterburn 739. And that's pretty much it. And then you'll see all of us on there. Kitty's on there. Fez is on there. Midge and Cobra sometimes. Jackie's very rarely ever on Twitter. So, but yeah, that's the best place to reach all of us. And we come out. We're a once a week podcast. We come out. We basically we've been sitting in our bar, which is a garage, for the better part of 6 years.
Yeah, for the gist of it is at the end of a work week, we all just kind of want to unwind, and it's usually a Friday night, and we all just kind of naturally started gathering and eventually wound up in our bar for many, many years. And as we're unwinding and drinking and having a good time, we're laughing and talking and telling stories and listening to music. And we always told ourselves, always record.
We should record. We should definitely record. We've always said that, and we should be recording this. And we even tried it on an iPhone, but we always have music playing. And eventually, we just said, you know what, let's do it. And we put together some equipment, and we just that's basically what we do is we sit around and just whatever we are talking about that day. That's what we talk. We do very little show prep, but we have a great time, and it's always a good laugh. So
we always got something to talk about.
So.
When I listened to the first couple episodes of your show, I actually thought you guys found like a bar and you guys took over the corner every Friday night.
Well, actually, we started doing that in the beginning. Remember Stubby's and then Damaki's on the corner?
Yep, we just take over a corner, and then when before the Bush left, all of our friends lost their jobs, so they didn't want to go out to bars, so we just started hanging out in our garage. We got heat in here and just chilled out. And somebody, I don't remember who it was. It may have been the Drunken Dorks. I don't remember, but they said that we're like the Seinfeld of podcasting. We're just really a podcast about nothing. We just sit around and have a good time.
Yeah, I mean it's the easiest show to listen to because it's the kind of show where it's good if you pay attention, but it's also just good vibes in your head. Like if you're listening in earbuds, man, you just come out of your show just feeling good. And that's one of the things I really like about your show. There's rarely negativity, and if they're and it's usually just having a lot of good times. And those are the kind of people you want to hang out with. And so I mean, next time you're out in Vegas or LA, because I live in LA, so next time, like you said, let's go have a drink with Jimmy V, Sean, whoever. Man, please give me a call and include me in that group.
Absolutely. And it was funny because we came back from Vegas and LA from this time, and we met all the people from LA in Vegas, and it was like, man, I wish we'd have met them the last time we were there, because this time would have been, because we stayed a night in Victorville while we were there, and we hung out down in Huntington Beach for a while and then headed back to Victorville. And it's like, if we'd have known people then, we could have hung out on Friday night, so next time.
Yeah. Well, now you do, and that's part of the great thing about podcasting, man. You're making new friends all over the country.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you guys. I'm not going to keep you on any longer. You guys go to bed. Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing your new breed of show. I really am, the Angry Beards stories, and I'm really looking forward to it. And
I'm slowly looking to make the transition, and this is part of that transition into a little bit more Vegas stories. And then also, like I describe it, it's going to be kind of like a Dirty Jobs where we talk to Vegas workers and then also mix it with some stories. I hope it's good for the broad public. So
awesome. And our studio is always set up, so if you ever just send me a message, me and Kitty may be sitting on the couch, or we may just be coming back from the bar or something. We'll jump on with you. We don't care.
Sure.
That's cool, man. Thanks.
Hashtag why not?
We got more stories.
Exactly.
Oh, way more.
I know. It's like I got stories too, and I haven't even had a chance to tell any of them yet. I'm going to slowly roll them out as the time goes, because just things happen in Vegas that just don't happen anywhere else. Thank you guys for coming on the show and sharing your stories. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
We had a good time, Chris. Thanks a lot.
Hey,
That was fun.
Say hi to everyone for me.
Yeah, same there. Tell Aaron to get out a little bit more. But and to be fair, I think he's a great piece to your show, because he's just like, I'm going to do this when I go to Vegas. That's so awesome.
He'll disappear, man. We'll go out together. We'll drive out together, and he'll disappear, and I won't see him for 2 days, and we just drive back. I mean, I don't know what he's doing. He claims that he's laying out by the pool. For all I know, he's killing hookers and burying them out in the desert. I really don't know.
we should meet up with you sometime, and we'll follow him with a camera and see what he does.
Oh, that would be a blast.
Watch, he's got like another family out there.
He's doing another podcast with somebody else about LA or something.
He's cheating on your podcast.
Oh, man.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right, brother. Have a good day.
night.
Be safe, and we'll chat with you online.
Okay, cool. Have a good night. Okay, so joining me today, we have Michael Tomes from, by the way, what would be the proper company? I know I have Umbrella VIP, Umbrella Group VIP. Which is the proper way for people to find you?
Umbrella VIP, and then the other website that we have is VegasPoolSeason.com. And the VegasPoolSeason.com has been around for like 6 years. And then Umbrella VIP is kind of like the brand, but UmbrellaVIP.com, they've been building it out the last 3 months, so that'll officially launch here in the next few weeks too.
Would you like to describe what that company is a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So we're an event planning company. We do everything from bachelor and bachelorette parties to birthday parties, high-end VIP clientele, corporate event planning. So basically we handle the nightlife side of things in terms of setting up limo transportation, table and bottle service at all the best nightclubs, pool parties. We work with the best strip clubs in town. The few restaurants that we do inclusive dinner and alcohol packages at as well.
Oh, cool. Okay, then we need to make sure to get a hold of that. So we'll go ahead and post that information in our show notes. So that way, if anyone does need your services, they can go head over to our site, find you guys very easily. But another way to find you guys is at VegasPoolSeason.com.
Correct. They can find us on VegasPoolSeason.com and just put in an inquiry on the web form there, and then that'll go directly to me. And I always reach out and contact people via email or text message or phone call every day.
So let's get into Super Bowl in Vegas. You want to just paint a broad picture real quick on what it's like?
Sure. I mean, if you're not going to the game itself, I'd say Vegas is the best place to go to watch the game, so you can put some bets in. It's one of the busiest weekends of the year out here. There's a lot going on, so there's everything from some great strip clubs to watch the games at. There are a few other restaurants that do Super Bowl parties. You know, in general, the sports books, they're going to be busy, but all the tables and stuff are reserved for big-time gamblers. So, you know, generally speaking, you're not going to get a seat in any of the sports books in the casino. So you might be lucky to get a standing room only at the bar. So, you know, my favorite spot in town that I've watched the Super Bowl at probably the last 8 years is over at Sapphire, which is the world's largest strip club. But that day is a special event where it's not really just a strip club. There's just as many girls in there watching the game as there is guys. You know, huge screens, full buffets. They do raffles and prizes and drawings, and in my opinion, it's the most fun spot to watch the game. But obviously, strip club isn't for everybody. If you're, you know, in town with your wife or a girlfriend, and for some reason, you know, if they're not comfortable or more on the conservative side, there's a new spot that's opening up called the Budweiser Beer Park that is at the Paris.
Yeah, that's actually kind of cool, the Budweiser Beer Park, because this is the first year. They're opening. They're not even open yet. They're opening for this event, aren't they?
Yeah, this is going to be their first big event of the year. So they have redone the balcony, and Budweiser's jumped in on this, and they're doing like outdoor grills with burgers and hot dogs, and they're doing an open bar is included in the ticket price. Or if you have a few more bucks to spend, they've got some VIP table packages as well that would include bottle service up there. And when you look across the street, you're literally looking onto the Bellagio water fountains. So you can watch the game and look at the Bellagio water fountains all at the same time. If you're looking for more of an ultra lounge type place, there's a couple good spots in the Bellagio over at Lily, where they're doing some inclusive alcohol and food packages over there, or at Hyde Nightclub, which is also in the Bellagio. You know, and they're bringing in big screen TVs and stuff like that, so there'll be, you know, enough room to view the game and different food and alcohol packages that you can purchase.
What would you say, let's go with a low roller option. Let's say someone doesn't have a lot of money to spend. What would be some good options for those guys who are coming to Vegas, maybe with a group of buddies to watch the Super Bowl?
Well, no matter what, you're going to have some sort of budget to come and watch the game. But there are some good spots. Say like Twin Peaks inside Planet Hollywood is doing, they're doing a big Super Bowl party that would be good, that isn't going to be through the roof expensive, or a place called Blondie Sports Bar that's in Planet Hollywood. You know, the days of going to one of the ballroom parties, they don't even offer those anymore in Vegas. So, you know, if you really want to go low budget, maybe you could find a standing room spot at one of the bars in the casino. But, you know, if you spend a couple dollars, there are some good options. A step up from that would be somewhere like the Tao Group is doing Super Bowl parties at Tao, Marquee, and Lavo, where they're doing inclusive alcohol and food packages that come with that as well. So there's some reasonable options out there. I feel like Vegas has got a little something for everybody regardless.
Well, let's go the opposite direction. Let's go with the high end. If you do have a little money to throw around, where are some cool places for those people to go check out the Super Bowl? Or, you know, I should probably call it the big game, just because
the big game. Yeah, they avoid the word Super Bowl by all means because of the trademark on it. So you'll see all the places that are doing the event call it the big game. So I mean, I think a lot of the places that I named, if you have a budget, you know, even say going over to Sapphire, they've got like a VIP ticket that's a little bit more expensive. That it's in the showroom, and they have a little bit of an extended buffet, and you could do bottle service in there. You know, doing bottle service at any of those lounges like Hyde or Lily or any of the spots at Tao, where, you know, the bigger, better tables that are going to have, you know, better viewing areas to watch the game, you know, will require bottle service at all those spots. So, I think you're safe. You'd be safe at any of those places that I was talking about. Like, the thing is, when you're talking about high rollers, then you get into the gambling side of things. And if you're a gambler, then you're going to get invited to, a private event at the casino. The less expensive road is going to be at the bars, such as the Budweiser Beer Park and Blondie's and Twin Peaks. The middle of the road stuff is going to be at the strip clubs like Sapphire, Rhino, and Crazy Horse 3, and then some of the more expensive places will be at, where there's a couple of nightclub groups that are showing it, like Tau Group, where it's over at Tau, Marquee, and Lavo.
Let me ask you about, we talked a little bit about it yesterday, the day club watching. Can you describe what that would be like?
On the day club stuff, for watching the game, I don't think that many of the pool parties are going to really advertise it as a Super Bowl party. Marquee Day Club would probably be the only one that would be the pool party that would be open, where they actually have the pool covered with a glass dome so it stays warm, and they would be doing a pool party / Super Bowl party where TV screens in the cabanas, and they'll have TV screens out there where they'll have food and drinks, and that's got an inclusive, ticket price where you can purchase a ticket and get food and drinks. Or if you really want your own cabana, you would be required to do a food and beverage minimum. That would be more for your high roller type people that are willing to spend a few $1,000 to have their own private area, and their own waitress, and watch the game in their cabana with food and bottles of liquor.
Wow, and how many people can you fit into a cabana?
Usually they'll seat up to, say, like 12 to 15 people max is comfortable for one of the cabanas out there.
Okay, so that's a good group of people. Everyone, if everybody wanted to chip in, that's an option, right?
Yeah, that's a great option. Otherwise, you could, if you had a group of 30 people, you could always get, say, 2 cabanas next to each other or something like that. So
that would be fun.
There's options, or
yeah.
Even table service inside the nightclub where you'd be sitting next to each other if you had a large group of people. So there are options.
Cool. What about, do you have any suggestions for watching the game at a restaurant?
Over at one of the restaurants, Lavo, inside the Venetian's doing a great party for Super Bowl, where it includes food and alcohol for the ticket price. And then if you want, it has a full buffet over there. Another place that's super popular is Lagasse Stadium, and that's owned by Emeril Lagasse, and that's over in the Palazzo, and they're doing the Super Bowl party over there as well, where they're requiring food and beverage minimums to reserve tables. STK inside of the Cosmo is another great restaurant where they're going to be doing a Super Bowl party. Same type of deal where you'd have an option to just pay a charge to get in, or if you wanted your own table, private viewing area, you'd have to do a food and beverage minimum as well.
Now, didn't there used to be a whole bunch of viewing parties inside of hotel ballrooms? Wasn't that a big thing a while ago?
Yeah, back a few years ago, they used to do big ballroom parties where you would just pay a cover charge, and they'd let you in the big ballrooms with TVs and buffet. And the problem was they were advertising it as a Super Bowl party, and sure enough, the NFL found out, and because of the trademark on the word Super Bowl, they basically put a shutdown on the big ballroom parties, and that also ties into why you don't see the word Super Bowl being used. It's you hear the big game or whatnot for the Super Bowl parties,
right?
Because it's trademarked by the NFL.
The other thing that was on your site is parties after the Super Bowl. Do you have any? Lots
yeah,
of
sure. There's lots of parties after the Super Bowl. A lot of the nightclubs do industry night parties. For those that are still standing, Excess nightclub's a great spot to go if you're wanting to go to one of the big nightclubs, or the Bank nightclub in Bellagio is another good one that does a Sunday night party. So, most of the nightclubs that do what they call industry night on Sundays are going to be open and doing a Sunday night party with the DJs and the dancing. And for those that want to go out, for the people that won on their bets, they'll be in the nightclubs. The people that might have lost on their bets, they might be walking around on the strip with a drink in their hand.
Or back in their hotel room.
Back in the hotel.
Watching a movie.
Watching a movie from their house, only for $20 for the movie that the hotel will so kindly charge you for.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's do this. If somebody actually wanted to hook up just a really killer package for themselves, they could contact you and you'd be happy to set that up, right?
You got it. So basically what we do is we plan a group's itinerary, and then we provide a VIP host from our company that's there with the group to make sure everything runs smooth in terms of getting them on the limos, walking them by the 2-hour lines. We package everything together where, it includes the tips that we grease people to make sure we get them good tables. It includes all the tips for the waitresses. So it's pretty headache-free. It'll break down as a price per person, and it's an all-inclusive package that we can customize to fit clients' needs and budget.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. I do appreciate your time.
So you make it out to Vegas here and there?
About every 6 weeks.
Well, next time around, man, maybe meet you in person at some point. I'm always out and about on the weekends hosting groups. So
sounds good, man. I'll show up with a bunch of friends and we'll all hang out.
And I'll make you look like a rock star in front of your friends.
And that's going to do it for another episode of Faces and Aces Las Vegas. Thank you to Kitty and Leo from the Afterburn 739 podcast for coming on and sharing one of their great Vegas stories with us. They will be back in the near future. Also, thank you to Michael Tomes from VegasPoolSeason.com and UmbrellaVIP.com. If you're heading out to Vegas with a group of friends and you would like to receive that VIP service, visit either one of those websites and Michael will be more than happy to hook you up and take care of you. And we want to hear from you. If you have a great Vegas story, please reach out to us and share it with us. You can call us at our voicemail number, 702-381-3657. You can reach out to us via email at contact@facesandaceslv.com, and you can find us over on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at FacesandAcesLV. Thank you so much for listening. Jenny, thank you so much for co-hosting. And remember, what happens in Vegas ends up on this podcast.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.
There's so many stories I could tell you. I wish I could have more time to tell you things like things I could tell you. Oh, you don't know the half of it.
Go.